Rolling,
Let me
rolling
know.
with the homies.
Rolling with the homies. Let me know when I can start.
You can start.
Okay. If you feel anxious all the time, you are not broken. Your nervous system is just doing exactly what it was trained to do. So anxiety is not just a mental loop, it's a body loop. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for danger based on past experiences, unresolved trauma, and environmental overload. Most people, I think their personality, and I say personality like overthinking, being hypervigilant,
Hmm.
irritability, all those things. Um, it's it's actually just your nervous system is stuck in survival mode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Touch My Health podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm Katie. So we're going to get into why you were always anxious, and the first part we're going to talk about is the science. Let's get into the nitty gritty, the science of our nervous system and why we're always feeling anxious.
Love some science, and I love hearing about
I
why,
do too.
the why behind that anxious feeling all the time.
Yes. And your nervous system, nervous scissor. Your nervous system is not meant to be on 24/7 and that's what it is when you are always feeling anxious. It's like think of the light bulb in the room. You leave the light on and just never turn it off. The thing's going to burn out and it's going to burn out pretty quick. It's not meant to just stay on 24/7. So, scientific anchor, your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight mode,
Hmm.
versus your parasympathetic,
Big word.
mhm,
Parasympathetic.
right? Your rest digest. That's what it's playing between. You're fighting between the staying in the fight or flight and then getting into the rest and digest. And most of us live in fight or flight mode.
I know I do.
Especially when you are having that feeling of anxiety and always
Mhm.
feeling anxious. And it's not necessarily because we're in danger, it's just because our brain thinks we are and it's pulling some tomfoolery on us and tricking us into thinking that. But like I said before, it's also because our brain and our mind is scanning for those possible dangers and things like that, and it's relating it based on past experiences a lot of time.
Yeah, the amygdala is the overactive part in an anxious person's brain. It's similar to a smoke detector. You know, when the smoke detector is going off in your house, maybe there's not fire, but it's something to check out. And that's how your brain has been conditioned by trauma or chronic stress. It just gets trigger happy. So it's constantly just, going off. That
Firing.
alarm is always firing. And it's not that you're overreacting or, being overreactive. It's just that it's being overprotective.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. It's not, your brain isn't overreacting, it's just overprotective. It's like that overprotective parent. They just want to
Just
make sure you're okay, just in
all the
case,
time.
all the time. What do they call them now? Helicopter parents?
Helicopter parents. That's a new one for this generation.
Yeah, when I hear helicopter, I think of something different, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
I think like helicopter that, just kind of comes in and out and in and out. Like
That's not what I was thinking about, but
oh, oh, some helicopter.
aside from the
To me
real,
like a
aside from the
helicopter.
real helicopter, that was, anyways, that's where my brain goes.
Cortisol and adrenaline build up over time. So you get
In an
chronic
anxious state.
anxiety, chronic hormone release, burnout, brain fog, digestive issues, all tie into the physical symptoms.
Yes, and I fully believe that my IBS is a result of the years of living in fight or flight mode and the years of living with the feelings of anxiety and nervousness and overthinking and just I really honestly think that that is a physical symptom and a physical condition that I have now because of how my digestion was, and it is a direct factor related to constantly being in a state of anxiety and feeling anxious, and
Be-
because of the hormone buildup too, and the cortisol and the adrenaline buildup, it just it can wreak havoc on your body.
I didn't think about that, just that constant stress,
Yeah.
how tight your stomach is and how on edge you are all the time, that it can really lead to physical issues.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can think about a time like when you were really nervous or anxious or some about something, and how you get those nerves in your guts, or sometimes you get like the bubble guts, or like,
Mhm.
have you ever had that, or
No.
no, just me in this relationship? I mean, I've felt that in situations where I've just had this really nervous feeling or anxiety feeling, or like, or I'm just really upset, or like my stomach will feel physically
That's
like
where
in pain.
that's where it lives in you.
I guess,
Mine
yeah.
is mine is more insomnia. Mine is more keeping me awake at night and not being able to sleep
Because your
because
brain is just ruminating.
yeah, and just going over and over and over.
Well, and I mean, that is a physical symptom of anxiety is insomnia. Yeah. Anxiety isn't just caused by trauma. It's also caused by what you keep tolerating every day. So here are 3 to 4 common overlooked triggers of that cause anxiety. And it's constant multitasking. So feeling like you constantly have to do more than one thing at a time. Avoiding conflict to keep the peace, which just winds up hurting you 9 times out of 10 in the end.
Oh yeah.
Consuming overwhelming news or content. We all know right now I mean, there's stuff going on in the world every day,
Multiple
all
things.
day.
Yeah.
Sleeping poorly or skipping meals. I tell myself this, not as much as I used to, but even if I don't feel hungry, if I know I haven't eaten, you need to eat. It's not a matter of I don't feel hungry. If you haven't eaten in 12 hours, your body needs it. It's just your
Yeah.
brain telling you something different because it's having a different experience at the time. And then the last one is repressing emotion, saying basically, like, I don't want to be a burden, so I'm just not going to express this feeling or this emotion. Those are 4 common overlooked triggers that will do nothing but just feed into that anxiety, and it's going to wind up manifesting into a physical.
Ailment. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard something called creating a safe signal daily to help with overcoming anxiety, or the feelings of anxiety. I try not to say anxiety, but the feelings of anxiousness. So, have you heard of a safe signal?
No, I haven't.
So, your nervous system doesn't need you to think positive, it needs you to feel safe.
Makes sense.
Common misconception, you tell yourself positive things. I mean, which you always should. You should speak positivity. But when it comes to those, that fight or flight mode and the feeling of anxiousness, nervousness, overwhelm, your body and your mind need to know we are safe, not rah rah shish boom bah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, some safe signals that you can do are, one is like pet an animal. And this is why we need a dog. Okay. It's scientifically proven.
Or a cat if you're a cat person.
Ew, no. I am
You're
allergic, actually.
you're allergic.
Yeah, I actually really think cats are cute, but I'm allergic. But petting an animal, I know every time I pet a dog, pick up a little pupper and give it a kiss, I feel very safe. So, scientifically proven.
Dogs are great.
Yeah. You can also hug someone. So I do this, I feel like, a lot to you. I come up and just hug you. I'm like, just come here. And
Yeah.
that's also part of my constant need of affection and attention.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. Um, but watch a calming visual. So I also do this. I feel like
You listen to that lady
I was just
on
gonna say.
YouTube.
So I listen to ASMR sometimes. It helps me calm down, or if I'm feeling very stressed or in a high anxious environment or situation, I I used to listen to it at night a lot to help me fall asleep, but ASMR is stands for Autonomy Sensory Meridian Response, and not everybody experiences
Look
it.
at you, big brain on bread.
Not everyone experiences it, and some people actually have, there's an opposite to it, and I can't remember that name. But basically, if you've ever, you would have experienced it probably early in your childhood. I remember that's the first time I did, but it's when you hear a certain sound and it just kind of like makes your head feel all tingly, almost like someone's just like slowly touching your head. Or if you were, girls, if you had someone like brushing your hair, braiding your hair, it's like a tingly little sensation all over your head, runs down your back.
I get
For
that. I get that when you rub my back
Yeah.
with your nails.
And well, but not on your head though, right?
No.
Yeah. So it's if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you probably don't experience it or never experience it. But if you
ASMR
do,
though, the cheese pull.
so
Oh,
yeah, there's
satisfying.
different. I mean, if you look it up on YouTube, there's tons of different kinds. I mean, there's people who make ASMR videos and they just eat, they chew, because some people like the sound of that. That's not.
Sounds
There's a particular woman that I love watching, and well, not so much watching, but listening to, and she's Russian, and she's been here in the United States now for almost like 20 years, though, I
You're
think.
gonna leave me for a woman, aren't
She's, I
you?
mean, she's pretty attractive too, but she's married, she has kids. But and I like watching her. Some of her videos are like her actually doing something or explaining something, like almost educational. Like I feel like I'm like learning and falling asleep. I don't know, but that is my calming visual or auditory. Is that the right
Yeah.
word? Okay. Trying to use way too many big words right now, and I just got to be real with myself. I don't know all that stuff. And the last one too is saying something to yourself like, right now I am safe. My body is allowed to rest. I do this. I feel like when I found out about these safety signals, I didn't realize that these were things that I was doing already subconsciously that I didn't even know was a tool to do to combat feeling anxious. But I tell myself I am safe a lot when I start to feel anxious and I start to
That you're not in
like
danger and
when my heart starts to race and I can feel the panic attack or something starting to form. I Maybe I did because I learned this in one of my self-compassion books too, is they tell you to find a um, something to touch yourself, like to place. I said to touch yourself, then I had to stop.
yeah, touch yourself.
But like
When I think
gen
about you.
a gentle, caressing kind of like hug, touch. Like it could be like where you just hold your. Trying not to hit the camera or the microphone, but where you just like hold right here, or you put your hand over your heart, or put your hand on your face. Like mine is going like this, or like holding my own hand, and then just say to yourself, like, I am safe. I am fine.
Hmm,
I say, I am safe. I am fine. Nothing's going to hurt me. I am okay.
that's pretty great.
Yeah. So
And that helps you. That helps calm you.
that's something I do more when I start to really feel that panic set in
Hmm.
and my heart is like, I can feel my heart racing and I can just feel it coming on. Yeah, that's I really wish I could remember the name of it. Well, I'll link the name, or not the name, but I'll put the name in the description or something. But
Okay.
it's a technique and it's called something. As far as the touching yourself in a comforting, gentle safe way.
Name the pattern, not the identity. You're not an anxious person. You're a person with an anxious pattern. And the best part about patterns is patterns can change.
Exactly.
Instead of saying, I have anxiety, you reframe it and say, I'm feeling anxious when.
Yeah.
And it changes your mindset. It changes the narrative to what is making you feel anxious.
You're rewiring your brain.
Yes. Anxiety isn't a flaw. It's just your body's way of trying to protect you.
The goal isn't to try to get rid of anxiety. It's to teach your body that it doesn't have to be on high alert all the time.
Absolutely. We did an episode on anxiety where we gave you tips and tricks and ways to live with your anxiety, help overcome it, and help rewire your brain to dealing with your daily anxiety.
Yes, and we would like to have you guys try these tips, try the techniques that we talked about, and see what worked for you. Put it in the comments like, I tried this and, it worked great, or it didn't. Or if you have tips or techniques that have been successful for you, let us know. Put those in the comments as well. But follow us for more.
Mental health and wellness tips.
Yes.
Are you looking for a brand that supports mental health? Find the Good brand. With Find the Good brand, they give back 10% of their profits to Mental Health America, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting mental health and well-being right here in the United States. When you go to findthegoodbrand.com, use code TouchMyHealth and you'll get 10% off your next order. I'm wearing their Health is Wealth trucker hat. With Find the Good brand, they remind you to find the good. It's everywhere. Thank you for joining us today. If you learned something and our stories resonate with you, subscribe to our podcast. That's a zero-cost way to support our channel. You can also follow us on Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. They're linked in the description of the episode. We'd love for you to put any questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes in the comment section on YouTube. We'll read them all. Again, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your interest. And as always, we remind you to be the best version of yourself. See you next time on the Touch My Health podcast.